Welcome to the Fertility Tracker. It's a worksheet, designed to help a woman track, plan, prevent, project, and use precaution when monitoring and tracking her fertility when she's ovulating each month. The Fertility Tracker enables you to monitor your monthly menses. It is available in a standard size and a wallet size. This is the standard size, so it's like on an 8.5 by 11 page paper. It's downloadable and printable. And I just wanted to read the heading a little bit, which is also the instructions. Let me just review everything. So in the Fertility Tracker, what you want to do is monitor your ovulation, your monthly menses. And this enables you to track when you are in 3 different phases during your monthly cycle, which is usually 28 days. Every woman is different. Some women have a 24-day cycle. Some women have a 25-day cycle. 26, 27, and the most common is 28. Now, ovulation occurs during days 7 through 10 of the 28-day cycle. So in respect to 24, 25, 26, or 27, what have you, it would fall between the 7th and the 10th day is when a woman is ovulating of that cycle. Pregnancy may occur at the mucus before ovulation phase, which runs from days 5 through 7, including the first day of the period. And some of the things that a woman will notice when she is at this phase is she will have mucus in that area and it'll be very slippery. Now, pregnancy may occur during the ovulation phase at day 7 through 10. Pregnancy is unlikely to occur during mucus after ovulation phase, which runs from days 11 through 14, and what is noticeable is what was once slippery, it becomes thick mucus, almost like an egg white consistency. A cycle, when you are tracking your cycle, when you are listing on this particular index, what you want to do is count the first day of your last period through to the first day of your current period. And once again, women's cycles vary from between 24 days up through 28, and some later, some more, like 29, 30, depending on their age, their level of maturity, and whether they are perimenopausal or nearing menopause. The headings, which you'll be doing, is listing the year in that section. And you have a beginning day, a date. So what you would be listing in the day section would be the actual day of the week, Monday through Sunday. The date that day falls on. There's a beginning and an ending. So day, date, beginning, day, date, ending. Number of days of the menses. Most menses last 7 days. Some women have shorter, some women have longer. This is based on a 7-day menses or period. And once again, the cycle represents a 28-day cycle to which that 7-day menses falls within that bracket. Projecting your ovulation. Days 5 through 7 would be the mucus before ovulation. Days 7 through 10 is the ovulation phase. This is when you will most likely become pregnant. If you're planning a pregnancy or tracking your period and would like to prevent pregnancy, this is like an easy way to help you, minus all medicine, minus injections, and the simplest way. Days 11 through 14 is the mucus after ovulation. So for these 3 phases, days 5 through 7, days 7 through 10, and days 11 through 14 of a 28-day cycle, during one phase that branches out into 2 phases is when you can become pregnant, meaning mucus before ovulation and during the ovulation phase, which is the first 2 phases, is when you can become pregnant. Days 11 through 14, you will most likely not become pregnant. So in this index, there are 2 fields for each month, because sometimes a woman can have a period twice a month, even though it's 28 days apart. So there's 2 fields for each month. There's two fields for January, 2 fields for February, 2 fields for March, all the way through December. Okay? Now, on the right-hand side of this index, what you want to do, it takes a little effort, but it's not difficult. You just have to go online and download a free annual calendar. And that would be a 12-month calendar. Fit it to this index. Tape it on, what have you. Or if you have this online, copy and paste it. So you'll have this index and you'll have the calendar featuring 12 months for the year that you can copy and paste or download, print, and then tape on or what have you. That you will be referring to both sides of this index when you are tracking your menses and monitoring your fertility to either plan, prevent pregnancy, project the date of conception. You can actually track the date of conception of a baby. And you can also project the ovulation period. On the bottom is a ruler. The ruler is what you would be referring to when you're counting the days in the 3 phases of MBO, ovulation, and MAO. So days 5 through 7, days 7 through 10, days 11 through 14. As you're doing this, you want to document the information on this worksheet. So you'll have, by the beginning of the year through the end of the year, you will have a bunch of data which will reflect when you are ovulating, when you got your menses, when it ended, how many days it was, the cycle, if it was a 28-day cycle, the days of the MBO, the days of the ovulation, and the days of the MAO. And it will help you to stay on top of your monthly menses, to stay on top of and track it, and fit this. You can fit this worksheet into your daily life and into your life to help you stay on top of your wellness also, because this can also reflect any kind of problems you may be having. When you see discrepancies in numbers, if let's say the menses wasn't 7 days, it was 4, that's like a trigger for you to be aware of. Things like that do occur, but this helps you to stay on top of the monthly menses. And then on the bottom of this tracker, you can list comments through each day, each week, each month, what have you, as you notice things that you can report to your gynecologist, things that you noticed about your period. So if there is a problem, this will help to, if you have any kind of problems, tracking your period will help you to present the information to your gynecologist, who can help you understand what may be going on should you have any problems. So it's a handy guide for women interested in tracking their menses for the purposes of monitoring your fertility and your monthly menses. This would come in handy for perimenopausal women and women who are planning a pregnancy, would like to stay on top of when they become pregnant, or prevent pregnancy. It once again can also be used to project the date of conception and also project when you're ovulating. In my next video, I'm going to show how to fill it out, how to complete it. So this is a presentation that explains how to use the Fertility Tracker. In this worksheet, I will be using months November and December of 2025 as a sample. So to begin, we are going to list the year at the top. We're going to list 2025. And we're working with November and December. Now, let's say the person who is tracking her period in November, she had her period on a Monday. And that day was November 3rd. It was a 7-day menses. So you want to list 7 here. And 7 days would fall on Sunday, 11/9. the cycle, when you're initially starting this worksheet, you will have a beginning number. So the beginning number, November 3rd, to the first day of her period in December would reflect the cycle. So I'm going to make the assumption that she has a 28-day cycle, because in October, the first day of her period in October through to Monday, November 3rd, would be 28 days. Now, in December, her period begins again on a Monday. And that would be December 1st. And ends on a Sunday, December 7th. Once again, a 7-day menses cycle. And the cycle between November 3rd and December 1st is 28 days. Now, let's do the math. So, the projected ovulation is what we're concerned about now. This was all completed. All of the most important step was completed. The first section, which was the beginning of the menses, the ending of the menses, how many days the menses was, and the cycle. How many days within the cycle. The next thing would be to list the ovulation. So this is a sample, a completed sample showing MBO, ovulation, and MAO. As you can see, it's a 28-day cycle for this sample entry. Between October 12th, which was a Sunday, Monday, November 3rd, and Monday, December 1st, it was 28 days between each month. So between October, November, 28 days. Between November, December, 28 days. Now this ruler basically lists days 1 through 28. I color coded it, but you can change the colors as you wish. Now when you're using the ruler, what you want to do is you want to say the first day of your period is the day that you recorded it. So, for example, November 3rd would be the first day of your period. And to track the ovulation aspect of it, you would count November 3rd, November 4, November 5, November 6, November 7. So, this person, MBO, begins on the 7th, which falls on the ruler on day 5. To track the ovulation period, it would be from day 7 to day 10. So day 7 happened to be seven, 8, 9. Sunday the 9th is when this person, the ovulation began. 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 days in this particular phase. MAO occurs at day 11, 12, 13, 14. In this case, MAO began on Thursday, November 13. Which falls on, once again on the ruler, number 11. So when you're trying to track the ovulation aspect of the period or the monthly menses, you're going to be concerned about mostly days 5 through 14 of the cycle. Days 5 through 14. Now on the chart, you would list the first day of the beginning of each phase. So in this case, Friday, November 7 was the beginning of the MBO phase. Sunday, November 9 was the beginning of the ovulation phase. And Thursday was the beginning of the MAO phase. So if you're trying to get pregnant, for example, you would be concerned about days 11-7 through 11-9. This is when you would most likely become pregnant. When you would most likely not become pregnant would be around Thursday, November 13 through, there's 4 days in the MAO phase. So 13, 14, 15, 16, November 13 through November 16. And I have it documented here. This is just a sample once again. It's not based on true information. And accuracy of this index is unknown because you can track things, you can monitor things. You can monitor the menses, you can track the menses, and down to the T with the days and the numbers and everything, but still, you have to leave room for, miracles, whatever you want to call it, or disappointment. This tracker allows you more control of your body. By tracking all the information, all the data, you'll have a month worth, and a cumulative daily, weekly, monthly captures all the data throughout the month. It will help you to alert you and make you aware of any problems you may have facing your menses that you may want to present to your gynecologist. There's also a basal version, a basal temperature version, which I will show in a later video or piece of this, section of this video. I was inspired by licensed gynecologists to design this thing, this tracker. My own desire to monitor my monthly menses or period motivated me to create this and design it. I've used it for many years, and I was able to project when I would get my period also for like up to 6 months at a time. So I was always prepared. This index helps you to plan, prevent, project, and it helps you to use precaution. I used it, I invented it based on my own needs, and I'm just presenting this to you for anybody interested in using this. If it helps you, I hope it helps you.
Ovulation is the process in a woman's menstrual cycle where a mature egg is released from one of the ovaries. This typically happens once a month, and the egg travels through the fallopian tube, ready to be fertilized by sperm. If the egg is not fertilized, it disintegrates and the uterine lining is shed during menstruation. With the Fertility Tracker, you learn about mucus before ovulation, the ovulation cycle, and mucus after ovulation, and how they play a part in pregnancy prevention or pregnancy planning. In reference to the Fertility Tracker, I did also want to do a breakdown of the color codes used. So for the MBO phase, which is days 5 through 7, it's a lighter shade of yellow. Through the ovulation stage or phase, days 7 through 10, is a brighter or darker shade of yellow. And during the mucus after ovulation phase, which is days 11 through 14, you can use any color. I used a dark shade of, I think it's red or pink. Now, these worksheets are, you can edit them. So if you want to change the color, you are more than welcome to change the color to your desire, whatever color you choose. But I did want to distinguish them by color with a color code. So these are the colors that I decided to go with in reference to these 3 phases of ovulation.